Hey Virgo, this is your bi-weekly reading approximately for the month of April. We are doing these readings. I want to make clear that we are doing these readings that are going from full to new moon, which means that when we do full to new moon, we're talking about the energy that is waning and what needs to be released and let go of. You have a chance to get ahead of things and not have things like affect you in a way where they feel so disruptive, because if you're paying attention to them, then you can get ahead of them, right? So let's also have a look at what your spiritual advice is. Oh, actually, I'm feeling this deck over here. So let's take a look at what your spiritual advice is. I like it. All right, Virgo. I'm going to say a couple of things here. So we are moving into eclipse season. So depending on where you are, what time zone you're in, it could be on April 19th or 20th, right? It is going to be the new moon, but it is going to be an eclipse. And so even more potent, right? Even bigger opportunity to release the things that don't serve from here into that phase. So speaking of which, we are looking at the South Node. And the South Node, a lot of astrologers talk about the South Node being like a place of, like this is where we came from in our past lives, or this is, if you believe in that, and this is where we came from our past, or this is what we do really well and easily, like almost we don't have to think about it. And what we're supposed to do is move towards our North Node. Here's something I really want to point out about this whole dynamic of South Node, North Node conversation that happens, if you're familiar with astrology, is your South Node is not just your past and where you came from, and like you're supposed to move to your North Node, and so you disregard your South Node. No, your South Node actually shows you what you don't have to try very hard at, what feels comfortable for you, and what is a gift, like what you do very well. So it's not meant to be like you just stay in that comfort zone, but it is meant to illuminate for you like, hey, you have these gifts that you do really, really well, and you don't have to think about that, but you can utilize those gifts as you move towards what your North Node is in your chart, right? So, and if you're not familiar with any of the shit I'm talking about, and you're like, what the actual F is she talking about? Let's just say that for the sake of a tarot reading, that the South Node is pointing to, hey, look at the things in your life. Try to be aware of the things that you do very well, very easily, that you don't have to think about. It's like second nature to you. Appreciate what those gifts are. Take time to utilize those gifts and make sure that anything that isn't like that it's holding you to that place, or that it's holding you back, that you release that and you let it go. This particular period of time from full to new moon, from now until this new moon that's going to be an eclipse, is basically telling you to go internal and ask yourself the big picture questions. You are meant to go inside and ask yourself, who am I? What do I want? Who am I now? Who am I today? What do I want today? Right? Who am I today? Do I want the same things that I wanted even 3 months ago or 6 years ago? Right? Like we often just kind of like, we've been shooting for a goal for so long that we just kind of continue with that, and we forget like that's not gonna always be true for us, not necessarily. Right? So this is a time for you to examine like, what are the things that no longer fit? What are the things that are no longer in alignment, and to let those things go. You know, and this isn't about asking other people. There is a time and a place to ask other people. This is a time for you to look at your inner guiding light, for you to look inward at your own voice of authority and agency in this world, and to ask the questions of yourself. If you want to get like a more full picture, I would say look at the reading that I put out for the month of April, right? So you can take a look at the Virgo month of April, so that you can get a sense of like what that is, what that means. I think I said Leo earlier in this. Sorry. Sometimes I do that. So take a look at that and get a sense of what that means for you. And if you want to get a specific reading for you personally, the information for that is all down below in the description box. So make sure that you share this, give it to a friend if you think this would be useful, and if it's resonant, right? And also, hit the subscribe and notification bell so that you're up on when these things actually show up, which is bi-weekly and also monthly. So I will be doing streaming soon, and we'll talk about it at some point later, but thank you for being here. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.